Today, I'm going to be showing you how to query an external API from a data pipeline and load that data into a Lakehouse files area. I personally think this is one of the most important and impactful skills that you can learn as a data engineer or even a general data professional. Why do I think that? Well, think about your business that you work in right now. It's likely that you have files and data stored in a lot of external systems, perhaps HR system, finance system, customer management system, project management system. It's likely if you work for a small or medium-sized company that you pay a SaaS provider for these services. So something like a HubSpot or Salesforce or Jira or lots of different types of SaaS software. The data contained within these systems is a goldmine because the data describe what's going on in your business. All these different things, the data in there is so important. So if we can build routines to extract that data via APIs into a central location, such as Microsoft Fabric, then we can really do any sort of analytics that we want on top of it. And we can really take our management of our company or specific area, part of our company, to a whole new level. So that's what I'm going to be going through today. Let's dive straight into it. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be going through this API here. So the goal is to extract weather forecast data and current weather from this website. It's openweather.org. Here's the website here. We can see we have a number of different API endpoints. First things first, I'm just going to have a look at the documentation to see how we can query this. So a good place to start, like I say, with these kind of projects is to understand the documentation for the API. We want to know which endpoints they have, so what data you can get from the API, how you can query it, what kind of authentication method it uses, because these are all going to have an influence on the query that we build. So I can see here, I've already created an account on this OPENWEATHERMAP.org. And the endpoint I'm going to be using for this demonstration is current weather data. So just click on the API doc. Okay, so here we can see the concept and its current weather data for any location. So this is a fairly simple API endpoint. And as you get more and more experience, you'll learn to kind of understand different APIs and different endpoints and think about the best way to query them. Now this one, like I say, is very simple. We have this URL, we're going to send a request to this URL, and we're going to pass in some parameters, specifically the latitude, the longitude, and an API key. So we need to authenticate with an API key, and that's just embedded into the request URL. So I've actually already set up an API key in my API keys. So this is the key that I've already created, and if you're going to be recreating this demo, then you're going to need to generate a new key, and it's free for I think 50 requests per hour or something like that. So it's not much, but it's good enough to kind of show you how this works. So we've got our key, we've got an understanding of the API. Next, we're going to head into Fabric and we're going to set up our query. Okay, so just before we get into the data factory and the data pipeline, this is going to be the destination. We have a Lakehouse already set up called tutorial Lakehouse. And what I want to do is extract data from the API, and then I want to load it into this files area. In my last video, I talked a lot about Lakehouse, and the core job of the Lakehouse is to extract data from the files location into some sort of structured tables so that we can use it for analysis. So what I'm doing in this tutorial is a step backwards from that. I want to get my file into the Lakehouse so that we can then transform it and analyze it. So this is where we're going to be ending up. Next, let's go to Data Factory and I'm in the data factory experience here, and I'm going to be creating a new data pipeline. So let's just call this get data from API, create. Okay, so now we have our pipeline set up and ready to go. So if you're not familiar with the data pipeline interface, then I recommend you go back and look at one of my previous videos where I've explained in detail what the data pipeline is. But this tutorial, we're going to jump straight in, and what I'm going to be doing is setting up a copy data activity. So we've just added that to the canvas there. And let's just go back to our documentation and copy this, because this is the address that we need to send our request to. And I'm just going to copy this into Notepad here, just to give you a bit of a rundown. So a typical structure of a URL that we're going to be querying, there's going to be a base element to it, which is normally this api.weathermap.org section of the URL. And then there's going to be something that's more dependent on the endpoint. So here we've got the base URL and the relative URL, or the secondary part of the URL. And it's important to split these up. Why? Because we might want to, when we build our pipeline, we want to create one source. So here, let's create a new source. And for this demonstration, I'm going to be using the generic protocol REST endpoint. Now this is kind of tucked away a bit, but in my opinion, it's one of the most useful endpoints, or one of the most useful connections that we can make. So let's click next. And what we want to do is copy in our URL, but we don't want this secondary part. We just want to create this first part, the base of the URL. So that's what it's going to look like here. Let's click OK. Okay, so we now have our base connection. And what we're going to do is change the connection type to REST. And then we can do a very quick test just to see, is it recognizing this? And it's going to fail because we haven't done the second part of that yet. So the relative URL, now either we can kind of hard code this or just for the purpose of the demonstration, but typically you're going to be using this add dynamic content, and because we want to parameterize this, say we want to do 3 or 4 different endpoints, we don't want to really hard code them all in. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to add some parameters into our pipeline. And so if you kind of click on this gray area, it will deselect our activity here. Then this will bring up the parameters, variables, settings, and output. So I'm going to create 3 new parameters, and I'm going to call it latitude, longitude, and API key. Okay, so I'm just going to get the So I already know that the latitude and longitude of London, or at least a point in London, is this. It's 51 point this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these values into my parameters. Then I'm going to get the API key from here. And I'm going to put that in here. Now, just a point on the API key. Normally, really, you want to be using Azure Key Vault when you're using anything around API keys. That's currently not integrated into the data factory experience or any part of Fabric at the moment. So that's something to bear in mind. You might not want to be doing this in your organization, putting keys into a data factory. So that's something to bear in mind. It's probably worthwhile waiting until we get the Azure Key Vault integration to make sure that your pipelines are secure. But for the purposes of this demo, those are the three parameters that we're going to be using. So let's go back into our activity here, and we can start to build this relative URL. So what I'm going to be doing is adding in some dynamic content, and what I want to do is add in a concatenate, and what we're going to do is get this dynamic part of the URL. Just copy that in to begin with, and then we're going to replace these elements here with the actual parameters. And along the bottom here, you have parameters, system variables, and functions as kind of helpers. So we can click on here and it's going to input this syntax here, which is the data pipeline syntax for adding a parameter. Let's do the same for longitude. And we'll do the same for our API key. Okay, so this is going to concatenate all of these and it's parameterized. So let's click OK. Then we're going to preview our data. Okay, so that looks like it's worked. It's returning some JSON data from our API, and we've got the coordinates that we've given it. We've got the weather, clouds, broken clouds. There we go. Sunrise, sunset. All lovely stuff. But what we want to do is save this in its raw form into our Lakehouse files area. Now, we want to save it in a raw form because we don't necessarily know what we're going to be doing with it yet. So we want to build the data pipeline so that we've got this raw data that maybe our data scientists can use, or data engineers can do some transformations. And actually, this is what I'm going to be doing in the next video. So if you're not already subscribed and you want to hear about that, make sure you're subscribed. Okay, so we have our input or source correctly configured. Next up, we want to choose the destination. So we have our Lakehouse. I'm just going to find our tutorial Lakehouse. And in the root folder, we can change the location from a table to a file. So I'm going to click on Files, and it gives us the directory and the file name. So again, what's kind of best practice here is to, or not necessarily best practice, but sometimes it's advised and useful to make this dynamic content. And the kind of folder structure that we're going to put into our Lakehouse files area is going to be based on the year, month, and the date. So what I'm going to do is add in this little concatenation here. And just to explain what this does, we've got the UTC now, so that's the time right now, or when the pipeline runs. And we're going to format it in 3 different ways. First, we're going to get the year, so the 4-digit year number, 2023, at the time of recording. Then we're going to add in a /, and this is going to make a subfolder in our folder structure. Then we're going to get the month and format it like so. Then we're going to do another subfolder and do the day. And then let's just save that. And the file name, I mean, we can call that whatever we like. Current weather.json. And I'm going to save it as JSON because it's going to come out of the API as JSON, and then we can just save it as JSON and use it in our Spark environment to make tables from it and do cool stuff with it. So, okay, so I think everything is now set up. We don't have to do any mapping because we're not saving it to a table. We're just saving the file. We're getting the file and loading it. Extract, load, extract, load. The transform comes at a later stage. Okay, so let's validate this and run. Okay, so here we've got our output and we can refresh and we can see that it has succeeded. So let's go over to our Lakehouse. So if I click here and do refresh, boom. Okay, now we have our folder structure, 2023, 08, 15. And inside 15, we have our current weather.json. So that concludes this video. What we've done is we've connected to an external API, we've added in authentication, we've built our data pipeline in Fabric data pipelines, and we've loaded the JSON into a Lakehouse files area, ready to be converted into a table and to do some cool other stuff with at a later date. In my next video, I'm going to be converting that JSON file into a table so that we can do some analysis on it. So make sure you tune in next time, and I'll see you there.